Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of you elect out there. Shalom to you all. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video, "And in that day will I make a covenant for them." More proof that we're not under the new covenant yet. So I was, give me a second here. I didn't have a topic, but I do put lists together. I put a lot of lists together. If I don't have anything to say, it's in my mind. You know, what direction should I go when I'm speaking? I'll pull out one of my lists. I put a list together and just save them. And I might have went into that list and broke it down, and then maybe 2 years later break that list of scriptures down again, or never go into it, and I just got to say, oh, I never went into this. So anyway, before I go into that, let me do this here. I would like you to watch this particular video. It only has 3 views. This is the new song, the new song Ba. I subscribe to him, and I receive his notifications, the ones that they give me, because they don't give you all the notifications. I will not put up videos. A lot of times notifications don't go out at all, period. And sometimes they do. I know when the notifications went out to a lot of people when 5-10 minutes into the video, I might have 35-40 people. So I said, oh, the notifications went out. But you know, you there for about 20 minutes and you got 5 people watching you. That means the notification didn't come out. And that's this devil doing what he does best, being the devil. Anyway, I was watching this video, and you can just, like I said, subscribe. It said every brother should spiritually discern this interview. Now I can't put this up, copy this, because they will take it down. You know, they take down stuff. Hey, I'll take a video that 2 or 3 brothers have put up, and I'll put the video up. They'll leave them videos alone and take my video down. So anyway, this is a interview. I guess this is what do you call that? It's an interrogation. It's an interrogation / interview of his experiences with the P-Man. And I'm going to say the C-Girl. If you think hard enough, you figure out, what does it mean by the P-Man? Oh, that means this guy. He's big in the news. But then what about the C-Girl? So I got to be careful. I got to speak in code. So this guy just spills the beans. And you can see that the guy is telling the truth. There's no proof. But he basically tells you he was in there. He was on the inside with P-Man and C-Girl. And they were a bunch, 2 freaky deakies. Let's just say that. And you watching this, you know, we say don't be distracted by it, but there's so many videos on this, and we know what the distraction is. The situation over there in the Middle East. It's terrible over there. That situation, that war-torn area, which is going to lead to other wars, which are known as proxy wars. Proxy meaning next. You have a war with another country. Somehow a missile hits a third country. They believe it's country number A. Country number A said, no, that wasn't us. They have evidence that it is. So guess what? You got a third country, country number B, number C. You got country number C. You got A, B at war. Then somehow C gets involved. C is allies with D. It sounds like Richard Pryor on Sesame Street. Because M didn't want no Q, whatever. And that's the Z of the game. If you saw the video, Richard Pryor was high as a kite on Sesame Street, reciting the ABCs. But That's what a proxy wars. You have proxy wars. You have false flags. You have nations that want to get involved in other nations, so something happens in a terroristic fashion, then they blame it on that nation, which they didn't do shit, and so they can enter into the war. See, you bombed us, and we did this, and so we're gonna have to fight you. And like I said, if they have allies, nations always have allies. They eventually get involved in the war, and eventually it turns into a world war. And so this is heating up right now, Armageddon. So anyway, let me come back into this. So yeah, you can watch this video. I only watched 8 minutes of it. That's all I need to watch, but I will watch the rest of it. And I'll just say this. Oh, I don't believe that guy. He's just making shit up. You know, you got to give me more proof. Oh, well, the proof is going to come. He mentions the T-Man, 45, maybe 47, that he was in, and he knows, that he been doing shit. And then all these motherfuckers are doing shit. You got the Pizza G scandal in the district. I got to speak in code. So now you got and I'm gonna get in the main subject. Now you got concerning the fact that we're not in the new covenant, not fully in it. Let me just say it that way. These higher up people in the entertainment world, the sport world, the comedy world, the music world, the acting world, the political world, these lawyers, these doctors. You had a scandal a couple of days ago with this, looked like an Elamite, East Indian doctor, that he was like the czar over the C. Ragamuffin, and he was telling people, no, you gotta, you can't, you can only go around your family, you can't go around a whole bunch of people. And remember, they had 2020, they had police, they had parties in certain areas in New York, let's say, and the popo would raid them, and they would find out there was 25 people at the house, so they arrested him and all this. Meanwhile, this doctor that was the czar of the C. Ragamuffin, he said, yeah, he is very dangerous. You're going to catch the C. Ragamuffin. Come to find out, there was secret videos of him that somebody pulled out. And this guy's from New York City, where him and his wife were attending X parties, and you put the S where it's supposed to be, meaning nice way of saying orgies. And there was as much as 200 people doing that. There's a lot of freaky shit going on around the world, especially New York City. And these high up people, politicians, lawyers, doctors, actors, athletes, singers, comedians, politicians, they all in the freaky stuff. All right? So he kind of goes into it. And I hadn't even watched all of it yet. So I urge you to watch it. Like I said, I can't put this up. All you got to do is go to the New Song Bar. Every brother should spiritually discern this interview. And I may put the link up, but I don't have to. But if I remember, I'll put the link up. Anyway, so let me go into my topic. Okay, so I was looking at these letters, these lists that I put together. Sometimes they would have a title, sometimes they wouldn't. So this one had a title, Exodus 23:13, meaning, which I'm going to read in a minute. And I wasn't sure. I said Exodus 20. Well, let me go to that. So I go to it. I'm looking at these precepts here. So anyway, let me just go into these precepts. Oh, by the way, we was listening to General Bishop, Elder, Grand Poobah, whatever you want to call him, Nathaniel, and he was going into like a lot of prophetic. He was going good. He was going. We ain't had nothing negative to say about him. He might have went off. We didn't catch it though. But he was in the spirit. He was hitting the right precepts. But we noticed, this had to be maybe the last 15 minutes of the class. He had shouted something. He read the scripture about the Lord, and he said the word Yahweh. I said, wait a minute. And we caught him. Wait a minute. He said we can't use the word Yahweh. His people can't. Well, we don't know his name. But every once in a while, he'll spit out, blurt out is the word Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. When he came out, when he was in his so-called deathbed, 2021, he came to the Passover 2022. I believe Kanai said it first. That's the first. Go to the video, the IUIC Passover 2022. And watch about the first 10, 15 minutes or so. They do the opening prayer. Kanai does something. He mentions Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, but he stutters over the name Yahweh Shai, or Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. He stutters over the second name. Then the bishop starts talking, and then he mentions Yahweh. He said, I almost was a goner, you know. And then he mentioned how, I believe it was either 20 or 22 people had died the year of 2021. And I already know what it was. He didn't tell you why. He kind of implied that it was a sea ragamuffin, but I believe it was the jump shot from the sea ragamuffin, which they said, which he kind of gave him the okay. You do it if you have to. That's exactly what he said. I got receipts on that. So he said, yeah, 20. And by the way, nobody, if brothers got sick, but nobody transitioned into GMS. And nobody in GMS took the jump shot, by the way. So now this doctor confirms that it was all bullshit. Because here he is. He's a super hypocrite. He's a doctor, czar of New York City. He's the head of the medical, you know, as far as doctors are concerned. He's like the Supreme Court judge of the medical world. So he said, no, you can't come there. But meanwhile, he was doing that shit. So what should come to your mind? It was all bullshit. Which we were right. GMS was right. GMS is always right, by the way. Okay, so anyway, so I said, let me go to these precepts, and then I said, let me make this. Let me put this. This bird finally jumped on me. It says Exodus 23 and 13. Now it says in the first. Let me go to the first verse. Let me do this. Thou shalt not raise a false report. Put not thine hand with the wicked. Wicked meaning Israelites or otherwise. To be an unrighteous witness. That's talking about Israelites. If a guy wants to get a guy killed under the law, he get 2 or 3 others and say, oh, tell him I'll pay you if he said that you saw him do it. That's what that means. Lie about him. Bear false witness. Tell him that he did something that he didn't do. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. What does that mean? That thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. If you see a head guy teaching something, and some of y'all see that, he's going off on that, but the 95% of the people go with it, and you don't want to be, the odd guy out, however the saying goes, and you want to say something, nah, that's not, but you don't say nothing. Because you don't want to get kicked out. You don't get. I know I saw the last guy got cursed. Well, that means you're not one of the elect. You see the truth, and then even they even use it. They even use this particular scripture. Let me go here. I believe it's either Leviticus or Exodus. Let's try Leviticus 5. Five and 1. And if a soul sin, kill somebody, commit adultery, whatever, and hear the voice of swearing, and is a witness, you the witness, whether he be seen or known of it. If he do not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity. Okay, so this is what I wanted. Now let's go to the NLT. See what it says in the NLT. And Leviticus 5:1 goes hand in hand with Exodus 23:1. Follow not a multitude to do evil. If you see something wrong or evil, you're supposed to speak on it. Okay, so this is the NLT, New Living Translation. If you are called to testify about something you have seen or that you know about, it is sinful to refuse to testify, and you will be punished for your sin. All right? Come back to the King James. In all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect, means look all around, and make no mention of the name of other gods, neither let it be heard out of thy mouth. So if you know the name of the Most High, because Bishop Nate said it last night, you don't believe me? Watch the class he did last night. About the last 15 minutes, he screams out, Yahweh! And then you can go to the Passover 2022, watch about the first 15, 20 minutes or so. Kanai, Gabar, and Bishop Nate, they both say the name Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Now you have some of them men or followers under the leadership of IUIC, they'll go on certain shows and they'll say, well, we don't know his name, and I'm not sure, or is it what they say? They'll say, they might say Elohim, or they may say Emmanuel, like one of the brothers in Texas. They said, the sister said, well, what's his real name? And she was trying to say this, Yahweh Shah. One of the brothers, I believe, he said, based on my memory, we don't know the name. And then the older cat next to him said, Emmanuel? And he said it like Emmanuel? Well, wait a minute. You guys don't know the name. But then you got the leadership every once in a while, out of fear, would say the name of the true name of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Like I said, anything I say, there's receipts. Go to the video last night, then go to YouTube, go to the search engine, type in IUIC Passover 2022. Watch about the first 15 minutes or so. And they both, Kanai and Nate, Bishop Nate, they both say Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. And then Nate tries to be funny, makes a joke. He tries to make a joke out of it. He said, when we say them names, that give these certain guys goosebumps, or whatever he says. So he's playing with the truth. He's playing with the truth. And you guys see that, and you don't say nothing. When he brought up that hell doctrine, y'all should have pounced on him in the spirit. So anyway, I'm not going to make this long. Okay, so we know what Exodus 23 and 13. And you'll get Deacon Athon to say, well, that don't really mean that. No, we're not, he come with a bunch of excuses. That's the guy that said you can call the Most High Yo Play Yogurt. So when the missiles come and you ain't beamed up, you better call on Yo Play. Exodus 20 verse 3, thou shalt have no other gods before me. When you say another name other than the Most High's name and his son's name, because now you've been given the son, prophets of old called on Yahweh. The apostles came on the scene, they called him Yahweh, and they called his son's name Yahweh Shai. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Who's the king? Christ. Who's the king? Who the fuck is who's Christ? Christ is his cracker. Next precept. The book of Joshua 23 verse 7. That ye come not among these nations, these that remain among you, neither make mention of the name of their gods. That ye come not among these nations. And that means any nation that has a different God than your God. What nation are we under and amongst? We're amongst the Edomites and the other nations from around the world. You got Elamites come with their God. You got Moabites come with their God. You know, you got all kind of gods. So it says that ye come not among these nations, these that remain among you. You got to you might live next door to a Hamite or Arab or whatever. It says neither make mention of the name of their gods. So when you call on Most High and Christ bless, what God are you calling on? You're really calling on what is it? What is it? Serapis Christus. I call him Serapis Crispy. That's what I call him. Okay, so let me look him up. Serapis Christus. Okay, let me see if the little lady gonna say anything. She doesn't. Serapis Christus. What you get the word Christus just means anointed, chosen. Was a syncratic deity or god worshipped in ancient Greece. The people that follow that believe in the Caesar Borgia picture, that's nothing but Serapis, spirit of Serapis Crispus coming back. Greece and Egypt, that was associated with, it tells you that was associated with Jesus Christ. Let me go to images. Now, he looks just like Jesus Christ. Here it is. Serapis Christus. And he got the flower pot on his head. I forget what they called it. And this is so-called Jesus Christ. So really, when you bow down and call on Jesus Christ, you're really bowing down and calling on Serapis Christus. Christus and Christ mean the same thing. It means anointed, chosen. Let me see. Was Jesus a ripoff of Serapis? Now check this out. Wow. So when you say Most High and Christ bless, you're saying whatever Most High I don't know which Most High you're talking about. And then you say in Christ, you're really saying, you might as well say Most High and Serapis Christus blessed. Now check this out. Caesar Borgia. The image of the Messiah is based upon Caesar Borgia, but there's an updated image that came about during around the World War II period of 1940s, which is I forget the artist, but Bishop Nate goes into it. You know, I can look it up, but I'm not gonna look it up. During like World War II, and they had them, you just kiss this picture, and you know this, that, and the third, and you be all right. So these people know, what do they all have in common? One of the first portraits of Caesar Borgia is currently what we call the Christ. I believe this is Caesar Borgia, as it says, Caesar Borgia, 1445 to 1507. So how many years is that? That's 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. He only lived to be 32 years old. And he died in battle. He died in battle. Oh, and by the way, his deadly wound wasn't healed. He died, and they buried it. They buried him, Jack. So when, you know, Bishop Nate says the image in Revelation 13, the image is talking about a picture of Caesar, but no, it's not. The image is talking about the Roman system. The founding forefathers of America, when they went to lot, this particular lot, I'm not going to give you the number. Somebody can put it in the chat. The particular lot, which was part of it was known, a big part of it was known as Rome, Maryland. That is no longer, that place, Rome, Maryland, is no longer called Rome, Maryland. When they built D.C. up, it was, they said the founding forefathers, you can go into the history, all right? They said they got together and they said, what are we going to pattern this after? The architecture. He said, we'll pattern it after the Roman Empire, the Roman architecture. Why? Because it's the Roman Empire coming back. Serapis, Jesus Christ, same people. And it goes back to Apis the bull. You get the Jesus pieces, which the Jesus piece, you can call the Serapis piece. Oh, I like your Serapis piece. See, Serapis, Egypt. This is after the Ptolemies came in. Circa, I think that's circa 350 BCE. Check this out. Serapis Christus, Greco-Roman, circa 135 BCE. So what did they do? They brought him back to life. So now he's being called Jesus the Christ, which is really Serapis Christus. We'll try this. So you got Baal Hamon, Isios, or Iesus, Jesus. So when you say Most High in Christ blessed, and you stand there and say it, when they say, who's the King? Christ. Who the King? Christ. Who the King? Christ. Put your head to the right hand. Say Christ. Put your head to the left hand. Say Christ. Look up in the sky. Say Christ. You're calling on Serapis Christus, which is a damn devil. That's what you pray. That's what you praying when you say Christ. All right. So where am I gonna go? Let me come back over here. You guys got together with the Islam and shook hands and all that. Cause pictures of you guys shaking hands, or at least Abu Yala shaking hand with a Muslim guy. And these guys didn't have no beard. They didn't have a bald headed, no beards on their face. Maybe some of them had a mustache. Y'all didn't get on about that. Y'all just joined hands with them. You join hands with the wicked. And they're worshiping a different God than you. Ain't no way in hell I'm going to say, if a Muslim roll up on me, I'll say he's an Israel. I'll tell him, no, brother, you're an Israelite. And I'll try to, if I can't, if I don't see him getting it, I'm saying this guy's not on the elect. Let's hope that his black ass walk down the street. Real talk. Joshua 23 verse 7, that ye come not among these nations. That includes Esau, Moab, Arabs, East Indian, Ammon. These that remain among you, because we're spread among the Gentiles, we're scattered among the Gentiles, right? Neither make mention of the name of their gods. Christ is a God. That goes back to Serapis Christus. Christus and Christ means the same thing. In Greek is Christos. In Latin is Christos, is similar. In English is Christ. But it goes back to, it was patterned after Serapis Christos. Christos is Greek, meaning anointed. Nor cause to swear by them, neither serve them, nor bow yourself unto them. And you see, it says, neither make mention. What does the word mention mean? And I believe that word there, I'm not going to look it up. Matter of fact, I am going to look it up. The word there, I believe, is zakar, which means to remember. Because I can say Jesus and Allah and Hare Krishna, but if I pray to them gods, that's making mention. Let me see if I can find that. Zakar. Make mention means to, like, well, we'll bring it up. We'll bring it up for you. I ain't gonna donate. Zakar. Hey, remember, recall, call to mind. That's what it means, call to mind. You can say Jesus, Allah, Hare Krishna, Buddha. You can say all these names. Baal's Bereth. You can say all these names. But if you secretly praying to Allah, but you hear you an Israelite, we find out about it, you out of there, man. Call to mind. To remember, recall, to be brought to remembrance, be remembered, be thought of, be brought to mind. If you're speaking to somebody in the audience and you say Yahweh Shai, and then you can say whom the world ignorantly calls Christ or Jesus. When you go to the Hebrew, the word for Jesus in the Greek is Iesus. There's no letter J. You go from the Greek to the Hebrew. The word, there was no letter J in the Hebrew and either the Greek or the Latin at that time. That came about in 1524. It says the cause to remember, remind. So you calling on him. He like the superhero Shazam. When he gets his power, he has to say Shazam. But he got to say it with feeling. He got to believe it. To cause to remember, keep in remembrance, to mention. And when every time you mention that name, you got these motherfuckers picturing a white Jesus. To record, to make memorial, make remembrance. When you put up a statue, that's to call to remember. DC, these guys were marching they were standing in front of MLK's statue, and people go down and they take pictures, and they'll say, yeah, MLK, he was a good man. Oh, I got to be more like MLK. You're bringing MLK to mind like you bring Jesus to mind. Like a lot of you niggas, man. You know, when I was a kid, I used to go to people's houses, Jake's houses in the hood, and they always had 3 pictures. Had pictures of Caesar Borgia. Then second was JFK, and the third was MLK. He was in the back. I remember that. Most Jake's house, you had Caesar Borgia, JFK, and MLK. Hey, they show you that in the movie, in the TV series Good Times. They had an episode on that where JJ painted Ned DeWino as the Jesus, and they were getting blessings. But here you got Esther Rowe, that simple-minded woman, that bald-headed, simple-minded woman, Esther Rowe, that demon. Anyway, she was the one that got the picture out. No, that's not my Jesus. Your women are your enemy, man. That's why they're out of control, because they're not under their man. Okay, so anyway, let's move on. I don't want to make this long. Okay, so now Psalms 50 and 16. Yeah, let's go to that real quick. But unto the wicked the Most High said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldst take my covenant in thy mouth? So, you know, calling the true name of the Most High and the Heavenly Father and the Son is of the Lord. That's in the Lord. You got to call on Him. Can't call Him anything else. That would be blasphemy. Okay, I think is this the one? I think this is the one that okay, this is not the one. Oh no, it is the one. It's in the 18th verse. The 18th verse proves that we're not in the covenant yet. For I will take away the names of Baalim out of their mouth, and that includes Allah, Jesus Christ, Jesus the Christ, Jesus Christo, Dios, and they shall no more, who's the they? Israelites, be remembered by their name. Because all those names are going to be out. Ain't no Israel going to be in the kingdom calling on Christ. Ain't nobody in the kingdom going to be saying Most High and Christ bless. So this is the precept that I wanted. 18th verse, Hosea 2 verse 18. And in that day, what day? When the kingdom comes. And the kingdom will come when the destruction comes. When the destruction comes, the missiles hit, the Lord, our Lord, and the angels come, and they use the lasers to destroy this place too, along with the missiles, and they beaming this up. That's the beginning of the kingdom, because the kingdom is going to come in as the old kingdom is going out. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, and that's how it's going to begin. And when two nations go to war, you take down parts of that nation, parts of that country, certain regions of that country, and what you do, you take their flag down, you put your flag in, until you got half of the country. And that country realized they ran out of weapons, they ran out of men, so they're looking to have a peace treaty, and they're ready to give themselves up. It says, and in that day, well, that happened with King Hoshea. Second Hosea, what is it? Not second Hosea. I'm sorry, Second Kings 17 from the first verse. That the Assyrian king had power over the king of Israel. So he had to go up under them. But they escaped the king of Assyria. And in that day, what day is that talking about? when all hell breaks loose and the kingdom starts. The kingdom is going to start when the missiles hit. So when you see the missiles hit, and you go and you get beamed up, you're already in the kingdom. Because the kingdom is just a matter of time before they totally destroy this place. And it's the only place that's going to be destroyed. The only thing that this Nate went off on is that all the nations are going to be destroyed. No. Who's going to go into captivity if bombs are going to be dropped on all the nations? Babylon going to be destroyed and Palestine going to be destroyed. But Palestine going to be built back up. Babylon the Great will never be built back up. It will be a memorial. It's there. It's going to be there. So when you see it, you can remember. Remember what hell was like. And in that day will I make a covenant. There goes a covenant. What covenant is it talking about? It ain't talking about the old covenant. Talking about the new covenant. And in that day will I make a covenant for them. Who's the them? Israelites. Starting with the elect. With the beasts of the field. Because we're going to be in the wilderness. If you go to Ezekiel 20 verse 37, it said that we're going to come up under the covenant. When are we going to come up under the covenant or the new covenant? In the wilderness. This is the same thing. It said the beasts of the fields because we're going to be in the wilderness. And with the fowls of the heavens because we're going to be in the wilderness. And with the creeping things of the ground, and I will break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth, and will make them to lie down, make who to lie down safely? Israelites. So ain't no Magog gonna come and attack us. Once the kingdom is here, that's it. Ain't no nation gonna come up against us. And I will betroth, ultimately to marry thee unto me forever. Forever. So how the hell Bishop Nate said, yeah, go to Revelation 20 verse 4. It said they're going to sit on thrones for 1,000 years. And then after that 1,000 years, Gog is going to come out. Let's go to Ezekiel 37 and let's go to Revelation, Revelation 20 verse 8 verse 8 and 9, 7, 8 and 9. Say they're going to attack us again while we're after 1,000 years in the kingdom. It said no. It says take the battle out of the earth. Nation shall not learn war anymore. And will make them to lie down safely. For how long? Forever. I will betroth thee unto me in righteousness. That's the law. And in judgment, and in loving kindness, and in mercies. I will even betroth thee unto me in faithfulness, and thou shalt know the Yahweh. And it shall come to pass in that day, I will hear, saith Yahweh, I will hear the heavens, and they shall hear the earth, and the earth shall hear the corn, and the wine, and the oil, and they shall hear Jezreel. Jezreel is another name for Israel. Yazariah, the seed of Israel. And I will sow her unto me in the earth, and I will have mercy upon her, the Israelites, that had not mercy upon that have not obtained mercy, go ye under the curses. And I will say to them, which were not my people, oh, there it goes again. Thou art my people, you the Israelites. Everybody's saying, no, y'all ain't the Israelites. And they shall say, thou art my power. When is all this going to happen? In the kingdom. When does the kingdom come in? When the missiles are hitting. When them ships come down and delivering us. Because when we get beamed up, we're going to be changed in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. The last trump represents a complete destruction when the missiles are shot, the ICBMs. So read it again. Read it a couple times. Mentions the word covenant. Ain't talking about the old covenant. The old covenant been around before Hosea was even born. This covenant is talking about the new covenant. You got that? So let's see what Zechariah 13:2 says. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh of the host, that I will cut off the names of the idols, because people are still calling on the names that they want to call on. So the Most High going to cut all that out of the land, and they shall no more be remembered. And also I will cause the prophets and the unclean spirits to pass out of the land. So if you ain't right, the Most High going to get rid of you. You false prophets. Let's see what and you know what? We'll probably cut it right about here. Psalm 16:4. Their sorrows, the Israelites' sorrows, shall be multiplied, that it hasten after another. That hasten after another God. All hell started breaking loose. The Muslims, oh Allah, oh Allah. Instead of praying 5 times a day, they're going to pray 25 times a day, and they're going to be catching more hell. You Latin tribes calling on Jesus, talking about adios mio. Their drink offerings of blood, because they have their ceremony. You got the Brujeria Santeria of blood will I not offer, nor take up their names into my mouth. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me go to one more. Okay, no, this is no, I'm good. Genesis 4, that's got to be read. That vibration got to be pushed out there. See, Moses knew the name Yahweh, but he didn't know that was his principal name. Genesis 4:26, and Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos. Then began men to call upon the name of, the word there is Yahweh. So the name is important. Let's go to a couple more. And you guys that are getting, that's weak in the spirit, you guys that fell off, you know why you fell off? Number one, you're not of the elect. That's why you fell off. Genesis 12:7. And Yahweh appeared unto Abraham and said unto thy seed, will I give this land? And there builded he an altar unto Yahweh, who appeared unto him. Abraham was accounted righteous, not for the law, statutes, and commandments, but he did keep the law, statutes, and commandments. But he was accounted righteous because of his faith. So faith goes above and beyond the law. Remember the rich man in Matthew 19, I believe that started from the 16th verse. The young rich man asked the Lord, what can I do to enter the kingdom? He said, keep the laws. He said, I keep all the laws. He said, there's one thing lacking. Take all that money, give it to the poor, and then you can follow me. He said, no. So guess what? He broke that law. You know, the weightier matters, such as, what is it, judgment, mercy, and faith. Genesis 13, verse 4, unto the place of the altar which he had made there at the first, and there Abraham called on the name of Yahweh. And Lot also, which, by the way, if you're thinking about it, well, Lot is a heathen because he gave birth to Moab. He produced Moab and Ammon. Well, Moab and Ammon, the sons and daughters of Moab and Ammon, they're Ammonites and Moabites. Lot came back as an Israelite. Lot came back as an Israelite. Abraham came back as an Israelite. They had the spirit. Lot had the spirit of an Israelite in him. It says also, which went with Abram, had flocks and herbs and tents. I don't got to read no more. The key point is right here. Okay, let's see what Genesis 21 and 33 says. I didn't have no topic in my mind. I came across a list and I said, let me just go with this list. And as you go through these precepts, the Spirit works with you. And Abraham planted a grove. And see, the groves that they're planting, when they go out into the groves out there among the trees, they're doing it in the name of these devils, God devils. Because we had groves too, but the groves that we had was in dedication to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Groves in Beersheba, and called there on the name of Yahweh, the everlasting power. And Abraham sojourned in the Philistines' land many days. Now, Philistines go back to Mizraim. The Philistines that David was fighting and Saul was fighting, those were Egyptians. So he had that tall height. Samson was going back and forth against them Egyptians. That was a particular tribe of the Mizraim. Look it up. Let me see something. Let me just jump around. Let me go to Deuteronomy 32 and 3. Let's see what that says. Because I will punish the name, because I will publish the name of Yahweh, not Christ, not Mosai and Christ blessed, not Allah, not Hare Krishna, not Buddha. Ascribe ye greatness unto our power. And that word there is Yahweh. So anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. On to the next shalom.